Hey everyone, Dan here. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about where GameStop is at, where I think it's going, and kind of what happened today as we started to call out targets early on in the day of what I saw happening and where I thought it was going. And I wanted to share with you sort of how you could do that as you're drawing your charts as well and trying to figure out what's going on. So I took a position yesterday at about $88 as things started to jump up. So I didn't buy in today to continue to average my price up, but I am still holding, and I sort of participated by sharing these charts and seeing what was going on during the day this way. But right now it's about 2:40 Eastern time, so we're still live, as you'll see on the screen. And what I saw this morning as we opened was, obviously we opened up here on 170, and we dropped down pretty aggressively to like 101.20 at its lowest point here. But the first thing that I saw was this sort of double bottom that we hit here. And yes, I know this wick extends lower, but this was a very aggressive green candle up. And it actually hit a level that I had drawn earlier because I had seen last night when we started to pump after hours, if I scroll left here, that area around 105 got bought up really aggressively last night as well. So what you want to do as you're looking for these zones is look for things like double bottoms. Those are almost always my go-to in terms of things that I immediately catch and say, okay, how impactful is that double bottom? And then similarly with double tops, how impactful is that double top? And the double bottom is going to be an area of support where you would expect it to get bought up. Double top is going to be an area of resistance, which if it bounces off of it, you want to kind of just see what it's going to do. If it goes through it and then establishes that prior double top as support, then you are in a really good situation. So this was the first thing that I saw this morning. Drew it all the way back to after hours last night and said, okay, we're probably in a really good position here. A couple minutes later, we had pumped up to about 132, and we hit this kind of double top here. And in this 132 zone, if I scroll it back again through after hours last night, you'll see here there was this aggressive buying zone that was bought up last night. So this is definitely an area of consolidation. It made sense that something was going to happen there. Just because something was previously an area of support and got bought up, if you're below that at this point, you're going to hit some sort of friction as you try to get past it. So previous support becomes resistance, and that's all that's happening here, is this 131, 132 zone became resistance this morning. So we hit it, bounced off of it, came down here to this third zone, or this third level, I should say. And at this 119, if we draw it back, we'll see back here, we had this pretty nice area that included this, where you had this entire consolidation here. You had this whole slew of trading that didn't dip too far into this area. So this is a strong area as well, and that's where sort of like the bounce started to occur. Now I know that this kind of cuts through this double bottom. This doesn't strike on this exactly, but the reasoning for that is, again, what I saw as I looked back through the previous time frame or after hours last night, and then I saw us really establish another green candle here, and we looked like we were going to be moving. So as you see, we kind of hit this level 2 again and kind of bounced off of it and struggled our way back up to level 2 again, fiddled around, and then we broke through. Okay, so again, as you get to these areas, there's going to be some pretty good movements in between them, and they're often going to get stuck as they're trying to break through them, or hopefully as they come down, they don't blow right past them, but they sort of find a level of support and then consolidate for a little bit, and then you can see what they're going to do. But this just gives you additional information as you're going on throughout the day. So what happened this morning after I drew those levels, and we sort of saw it break through this level again. So I wanted to draw level 4, because again we had 1, 2, 3, and now 4. The area that I saw here, so we had this like double top here. So obviously there's something to this area as we are going to approach it. These started to struggle as they got up here. And then as we see over here, this dip down, struggled around this level again, got itself back up to the 4, had another struggle up and down and up and down, and then we shot up to this level 5. So this level 5, as we blew through this, became support here. We actually got up to our level 6 and sort of got rejected off that and our level 7 and fell all the way back down to our level 5. But we saw our support there. So these are good signs. This quick of a movement, like blowing through this level, blowing through this level, and then bouncing off 2 levels above, it's not surprising that it falls back through that level. If it had fallen back through this level here, then I would have been concerned. But it held really nicely here. Bounced off of this 6th level a couple of times, and so then of course it got pushed down. This is where we are now basically. So we've blown through a couple of levels here. It's not the greatest setup, but we're showing some strength back around here. We bounced nicely off of this. So I still think that we have a good chance over the next hour and 15 minutes before the market closes to push ourselves toward 200. These are the levels that I'm seeing that are going to be friction points that we're going to have to get through. And we might get stuck at some of them a little bit, but as long as we don't fall through additional support levels, I think that we're actually in pretty good place. Again, these are the levels. Look at all these consolidation zones. These, this is where I picked up the level 4 from. This is where I picked up the level 5 from. So I picked up the level 6 from. So look for these zones of consolidation. You're always going to have to look left. Look to what previously happened. And again, this works best with high volume stocks, which can change from day to day. And so tomorrow, Palantir or NEO or something may have just a wildly active day. This works really well in those wildly active days. And as you go along, you might want to draw additional ones. Like I may want to say this zone, well, what do we want to say here? This level here, it could be standing up. Maybe it better belongs up here because you sort of have this quadruple top here essentially. So you're going to want to move these around as you go. But the support and resistance is just going to shift as the day goes on. Because again, we're looking back left to after hours last night, but those become less of a factor as the day goes on. As the day goes on, we may want to delete all of these levels and say, okay, I'm going to redraw my levels just based on the last couple of hours to see what the most prescient price activity looks like now. So hopefully that helped you guys out. I'll follow up and do this with some other stocks and do it maybe on some charts that aren't the 1 minute, which can look and feel quite frantic at times, but we can see what it looks like on the hour or the daily to have some longer term swing trades maybe. But yeah, I hope this helps. Good luck if you're in GameStop, and I will hopefully see you at 200 soon. I do think that's where we're going. And yeah, if you like the video and if you maybe have enjoyed any of my other videos on this channel, feel free to like and subscribe. It definitely helps. And in any case, I'll see you in the next video.